Hey, welcome to Strength and Conditioning Intern Chit Chat Podcast. This is a pilot episode with Coach Erich Anthony from Mississippi State. He's in charge of the bigs, working with football. A great conversation, and this is kind of what got myself and our interns and staff deciding to go forward with the podcast. Originally, just a conversation. I posted something about a striking movement. Coach Anthony was kind enough. He commented and added some videos, and I reached out and we were chatting a little, and then said, "Hey, would you be willing to hop on with our interns and we could pick your brain?" And it was about a 40-minute conversation, 35. Had some technical things, and decided to be a little more conservative, maybe with language. And from that conversation, this was what we clipped out, about 11 and a half minutes. Where I think there's some good content, and also we'll include in the bio and in the description of this episode some links where you can reach out to him, some books he recommended, and just some highlights. So look in there as well for the description. There'll be some nuggets that I think you will find useful as well. And then we'll have Jeff Jones from Arkansas State on the next episode. Again, appreciate you listening and hope you get something out of it. Tell me more about Fast Fridays. So you play the number 11 team in the country Saturday. Tomorrow you go out for 30 minutes Fast Fridays. Is that with you only, or is this a football practice where you're measuring those peak speed?
So it's a football practice. So our week, like today, was no sweat Thursday. It's the only day we go up in the indoor where we've got it down at like 60 degrees. Try not to let the guys sweat at all. And it's basically it's a hour and 15-minute walkthrough, just game simulation, all that stuff. So today's a down day. Tomorrow they come in, they go to meetings, quick team meeting, then they pop out to the strength staff. We call it a lift. It's not really a lift, just kind of some people might say a CNS primer, I guess. They hit 3 kettlebell jumps, various weights depending on their body weight, their position at the goal line. Then they literally step up to the 10. They hit a med ball overhead scoop toss, and then they step up to the 20 and they hit a broad jump. The bigs hit one broad jump. The skill guys build into a triple jump as it goes. They rotate through that 3 times. Then we get all that stuff off the field. We take them through a dynamic, and then some like neural drills, ankling, high knee, heel up, some step overs, kind of tune guys up, get them ready to run fast. And then after that, we put everybody on the goal line, and it's anywhere from 2 to 4 reps, depending on the week and kind of what we've seen GPS-wise, how many guys really need to kind of go chase some numbers per se, because they haven't hit it in practice yet this week. And then we'll go – the skill guys, they typically hit a build-up of 30 yards. We tell them, hey, try and hit 75 to 80% or 75 to 85%, like get warm, get loose. Combos 20 to 30 yards, and then the O-line, D-line guys are just 10 yards. And we'll go through that, like I said, 2 to 4 times. And each time we're making sure, especially our top-end guys, our starters, they're hitting those peak speeds. And their body's kind of revved up, their system's turned on. And then when that is done, the head coach brings the entire team up, says a couple things, and then they go to – it's about a 50-minute practice. But it's fast. Like there is no jogging. It's game day type tempo.
In terms of like choosing the path of a coach, did you have any regrets? Would you have done anything different? Always a good question. What got you started? Seems like there might have been a Yancy McKnight kind of vein there of Iowa State, UT. How'd you break into the business? What advice? Or if you could go back in a time machine, would you have done anything differently? Methods of networking and learning, just to help myself, always learning, and these future all-stars.
Yeah, so for me, I think to start off my career, I was just extremely lucky with the right time, right place, right people. So both my brothers played football at Iowa State. I was not as gifted as they were. I ended up going to a small school for a year, transferred into Iowa State, and I reached out to Coach Rhodes, the head coach at the time, he was the defensive coordinator when my oldest brother was a team captain at Iowa State, and just said, hey, I'm looking to get in the weight room. I know I want to be a strength coach. I mean, I was 19 years old at this point. I said, I want to start as early as I can, and I don't care if y'all just let me watch lifts. I will take out the trash for the whole building. Like, I'll be a janitor, whatever I can do just to kind of get my foot in the door there. About 20 minutes after I sent that email to him, Yancy McKnight called me and said, hey, Coach Rhodes told me to reach out to you. You want to come intern, be here tomorrow at like 2 in the afternoon. And at that point, I lived about 4 hours away. So I'm like, okay. Went and bought a suit, got a credit card, went out and bought a suit. I think I used my mom's credit card. Bought a suit, walked into the weight room on a Friday afternoon at 2:30, and they're kind of laughing at me. And Yancy, it's the first time I'd ever met Yancy. He's like, why are you wearing a suit? I'm like, it's an interview, right? He's like, all right, man. Like, yeah, you can come work with us. So a couple weeks later, reported just before fall camp. And just kind of walked in, and he's like, hey, your number one assignment right now, you got to get to know the team. You're going to get to know the team by doing body weights and attendance check every day. And that's your job. If you can prove to me that you can do your job efficiently and effectively, and not, I'll give you more responsibility. And that just kind of took off. Like, all right, that was my one thing. I'm going to be really good at this one thing. And then from there was look around for issues. Like, nobody told me to go clean the weight room on a Friday night at 10. It was
now, but early on, did you work with a wide variety of sports?
So I was football only at Iowa State and tried to jump over the Olympic weight room whenever I could. Kind of got into some hot water right at the end of my undergraduate. Apparently class is mandatory.
They say.
I was thinking really hard. I think I was like a 3.8 GPA, but I didn't go to class. So I actually, my senior year, my final semester, I got failed by my last organic chemistry professor because I was never in class. So I had to go kind of debate that. So I started grad school and did undergrad at the same time for that summer. Did 20 hours of that and working in the weight room full time. It's probably one of the better learning experiences I've had. That one semester cost me a lot of money in student loans by itself. So kind of bounced back and forth over to the Olympic there. And then after Iowa State, went to Mizzou. I was a football only position. I was sports science, but I was one of the 5 strength coaches. And they really didn't have a sports science for any kind of platform for any team. Like, we brought the GPS into football, and the AD kind of came down and met with me. He's like, hey, I need you to help guide the other sports on how to do. So we helped set up that base with specifically soccer, and then both basketball programs on their indoor systems. Left there for Texas. That was football only. Then went to Tulsa for 6 years, and I was over everybody. And kind of same deal there. It was, we didn't have a sports science guy, but the guys that, and the women I was able to hire, I hired people that I knew could handle their sports, their units, their duties, and be able to do some of the sports science things as well.
Today at Mississippi State?
We do. So we just, we canceled, we had a company called Perch. We canceled our contract with them and ended up buying these units, Vitruve. So these are like bang for your buck. Tendo is going to run about $1,600. These units are $400 a piece.
You like the tether? Never any issues with large groups and the tether?
Nope. And all they do is you can Bluetooth them to an iPhone. We've got a bunch of old iPads from one of the old systems that we had. So we just sync each block up to an iPad at the rack. Today after the No Sweat Thursday, the O-line, D-line guys came in and got another lift, and they were doing that jammer that I put in that video too. And we had the V-Trues connected to the bars. So if they weren't hitting over 1.3, your rep didn't count.
Just to figure out this question, deadlift, traditional deadlift. Do you think that the risk over reward for doing traditional deadlift in a football setting do you think it's worth it, not worth it? Is it applicable to the field, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, for me, I definitely think it's worth it. And a big reason for me is we do it year round. All right. So I'll do a combination of a straight bar, a sumo, a trap bar, staggered stance trap bar, all the above. So that's a pattern, a movement that our guys train, and they train pretty efficiently, in my opinion. Now I think where you could get into hot water is if you're away from it for two consecutive training cycles, and now it's, you're week 10, week 12, week 14 into whatever, training block that you're in. Like right now, I'm thinking in season. If we're late in season, our guys haven't deadlifted in 8-10 weeks, and I say, hey, we're going to go do the Ross method or a 5-3-1 cycle on deadlift, I'm probably going to have some guys pretty messed up. So I bring it up that way because that's kind of how we went through some things last year with Olympic lifting. The staff before us they were like technicians with Olympic lifting, which was awesome. It made our job really easy. But one thing a lot of our guys asked is, hey, why don't we snatch anymore? And that was a conversation I had over and over with, especially the O-line guys, was, okay, y'all tell me, do you want to catch snatches in season after playing LSU? Like, do you want to go out and catch 75% over your head after playing 120 snaps? And their answer was no. I said, okay. So if we can't do it year round, there's time and a place for it a little bit, in my opinion. And that's just me. Early in off season, I like it in winter just to groove the hip pattern and stuff like that. But I kind of try and stick to the things I can year round, regardless of maybe some limitations with injury. I can do this movement or a variation of this movement.
Do you lean more to are you still a tier guy? If you were, I don't know if Yancy was back then, but I know I'm a tier guy. I'll pound the table for it. Do y'all use that at Mississippi State?
Yes, sir. So I'll show you. That's our program for the travel guys. That's our program for the non-travel guys.
There you go. Tier it up, man. Once you go tier, it's hard to go back.